Georgia.
You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You already shared the link?
I don't see it. Oh, yeah, there it is.
All right, bring us in.
Oh, yeah, it was coming straight in with the thing.
We're live.
You on, right?
I am now. Welcome to That's Debatable, everybody. My name is Ryan Dietrich. And it's Tuesday, January 10th. Sorry for the delay. Welcome to the show. And let's get it underway, boys. National Championship. It was a blowout.
National Snooze Fest.
Yeah, what'd you watch it after halftime?
No, I did not. I was focused on my parlays after halftime, man. Focused on my parlays, been partying with the parlays. But from what I've seen, it was just overall Georgia dominance. By the time I had turned back to that game, you know, they had starters and backups in. Everybody just getting an opportunity to play in the national title and getting a chance to play. Looking at the future of Georgia possibly as well. It's looking, I don't want to say scary, but that team is definitely, is he possibly on a saving run, Kirby Smart?
You on a saving run? What do you mean by that?
Well, he's just won two. The first coach,
Saving run. Nick Saban.
he won like 7 titles out of 12 years or something like that. So like, is this the start of a new era? It's it's a new decade. It's the 2020s. Georgia already done got snatched up 2 of them championships so far.
I would say he on a good path, and he made a good mark. He making a stance and a name for himself. But to say he at the start of an era, I can't say that because of the way that the game has changed a little bit because of NILs. A lot of teams and players can move and make different acquisitions quickly to change the dynamics of the game. So you see how no matter what happened this past season, the recruiting, it still goes number 1 with Alabama. So with those guys, you never can count them out. But I mean, you got to tip your hat off to what Smart did, and give him his. I don't want to say give him his flowers, but give him their kudos, man. They got the national championship, and they did it in an execution style. They killed them fools, you know what I mean?
Man, fuck all that. The NCAA got it wrong once again. We should have. All right, the game is a game, 58-point lead. Let's talk about the fact that we didn't get the rematch. Not even us as Ohio State fans, supporters, whatnot. Just the setup naturally. If these was the 4 teams that they chose, and just for what, unless it was just perfectly set up for Georgia or a lot of people thought Georgia was going to roll Ohio State. That wasn't the case. But I feel like it should have been Ohio State, Michigan on that one side. And that would have got the most views and brought the most money anyway. Just like the Ohio State-Georgia game did. Because I don't know if it was really Georgia. It might have just been the Buckeye fans making the views go up. But at the end, TCU and Georgia on the other side. And we could get that blowout out the damn way. Nobody will remember that first round. Or the champion to get to the championship, and Ohio State and Michigan will be the game that everybody talked about leading up to the ship. But then we would have had possibly a great ship, whether it was OSU Georgia or if it was TUN Georgia. Either way, anybody but TCU Georgia, and we would have been fine.
I mean, leading up to that game, TCU had made. I mean, they lost in the Big 12 championship game against K-State, so kind of seeing that coming. They had struggled down the line. The last couple of games they had Baylor. They struggled against Baylor. Coming in, they took care of Michigan and they did it convincingly. So to say we seen it coming that Georgia was going to take care of business like that, nobody could have seen that. And they try to put on for the smaller schools, the non-traditional schools. Not your Clemsons, not your Alabamas, the guys that's been there. No Oregon, no Ohio State was in the playoffs, but. I still think that TCU, I don't want to say they deserve to be there, but they had their shot, they had their run. But I'm sure they didn't even think they was gonna come out and get smashed like that. But I mean, quick question: while we on that subject, would you have rather been in the game and been there and say, "Hey, I was there," or would you have said, "Man, if I'm about to go in and get smoked like that, I don't even want to make it there"?
No, because it's TCU that got smoked. Nobody cared. Nobody gonna talk to no TCU fans. At least if that was Michigan beating TCU and getting smoked by 58, it's a lot of people I could troll with that. I could do something with that. I can't do nothing with this. I can't get jiggy with this shit.
But I'm saying, no, you're missing what I'm asking.
What you saying?
What you had as a team, whether it's Ohio State, whether it's the Vikings, if you knew the Vikings was going to go to the Super Bowl,
but get lose.
yeah, would you would rather say, "Hey man, we was at least in the Super Bowl," or would you say, "I got there, but I got smoked"?
No, I mean, because my Tar Heels got to the national title in college last year, and they lost. But I mean, I'm not speaking. I've taken that and using that as fuel for this year because I think that they could possibly come out on top in the tournament this year. But I mean, I'm not really speaking on.
Is it better to get there and lose or not get there at all? Let's phrase it like that.
I mean, you getting there and losing is saying you got there. But I mean, it's a loser's a loser. I don't want the confetti to rain on me.
I mean, as a fan, and definitely me being able to say that my team made it to the Super Bowl last year, I never experienced any type of excitement like that, at least leading up to the game. And just to be able to say we was there was good, but the hurt that you do feel, no, you don't know too much about that. I mean, no matter what, you're still young, you still got opportunity, your team's still young. It may not happen for you this year for sure, but to at least get there,
that's in the NFL.
we're going to get there a little bit later.
I've seen the Tar Heels win some championships, and I've just seen the Buckeyes win some championships.
Yeah, but I mean, the big boys play different. You just said collegiate sports. We talking about the big time athletes.
We on a
talking about the
topic
collegiate.
right
yes,
so
but I'm saying as far as a
natty.
championship game, is it better to get there and to say, you didn't have money stashed away forever because your team ain't made it to the Super Bowl. But to say you didn't pay, you and your son.
Let's not think Super Bowl.
Just talk about championship game.
Buckeyes got to the championship games and we've lost. No, I would rather not gotten there because if we're not handling the business there, it still hurts. Nah, I don't. The fact that we in 2007 when we lost to Florida, no, 41-14, no, that stings. I would have rather no.
I think to get there,
losing to LSU,
to get there and lose, that's one thing. But to get there and get blown out the way them fools did, that's a whole nother stuff.
We got Mac Jones and them. Blew us out the water. I think it wasn't a 58-point lead, but they did us dirty too now.
I don't know. For y'all that's in the chat, man, let me know if would y'all rather have gotten to the dance and lost or just not gotten there at all. I mean, getting there and getting blown out the water, which one is worse?
Getting there and getting blown out the water. If you lose to like a heartbreaking field goal or like just a lot like on the last 13 seconds or something crazy like that, at least you shown up and you gave it your all. I'm big in the way you lose. If you do lose with leaving it all on the line. Now, even though we didn't get to the natty, I can accept the way Noah kicked that ball far left. I don't really like that, but the way CJ and the team for the most part showed up, I can accept that in defeat. But the way we lost to Michigan was hard to accept just because I felt like we left a lot on the line and didn't show up ourselves.
So looking forward to next season, I mean, is it looking like Georgia's going to run the table again? I heard Georgia got one of the easiest schedules that's coming out of the NCAA. Are they just got a chance to go and three-peat? We ain't really seen nothing like that. We seen, trying to think who was the last one to repeat. Probably was Alabama, like in the early 2010s or something like that. I believe they repeat. But or do it look like Georgia's just going to run it back?
Nick Saban has never repeated. That's one thing that Kirby Smart has done that he hasn't, right? But I think the last ones to do it were the Huskers. My question...
70s?
95, 96.
You bring
like
up a 94, 95. You bring up a. I'm gonna look that up real quick. What I wanted to say was, if you're watching, man, look at. You asked about next year. Put your money on the roll. Put your money on the Tide now. There's nobody that's going to be more upset or angry than Nick Saban after having to sit there and watch that game that his team very well could have been in. And he had David Pollack talking trash about Georgia being the best program in college football right now, right next to him. And you know Saban was up there scheming. He could have had all sorts of things to prevent that Georgia onslaught. And so I think if anybody's going to be coming into this season with a chip on their shoulder, it's going to be Nick Saban after having to sit in that NCAA and ESPN booth, and watch Georgia blow out TCU in his squad. He knows he could have handled those boys.
Because they could have possibly had TCU spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, Alabama's 2 losses were on the last play of both of those games. I mean, they're 3 seconds from being in that playoff. They almost were anyway. So he's going to have a big chip on his shoulder. So look out for that is my only thing. But
who is their quarterback next year?
Doesn't matter, they'll reload.
Well, of course, yeah, you're right. But it's like, and Ryan Day as well. Like, we almost had Georgia. So that's where a lot of our Buckeye fans is taking it to. Dang, we almost had Georgia. I know we would have smoked TCU type thing. But no, I'm still they got the bracket wrong, and just regardless if TCU got in there or not, if they handled the bracket right with the 4, because I still believe they got the correct 4 right. Sorry, Saban, you got to win enough games, and you didn't. 3 seconds or not, it is what it is. But if they get the bracket right, everything else has changed. Because it's OSU or Michigan in the championship versus TCU, unless they upset Georgia.
All right, we're gonna keep it moving. You got a final comment, Will?
Final comment. After this season, this is pretty much the last time we ever gonna have this debate. Because after this, then we're gonna go to that 12-man tournament. After that, then it gets to be a little bit more dicey. You're gonna see some of those teams that say they should have been there, and they're gonna get the opportunity. So whether they're gonna stand up, then that's how we really gonna we're gonna get our money's worth pretty soon. So NCAA may have got it wrong this year. CFP committee may have got it wrong this year. But all that talk is gonna be over with. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, man. It's gonna get more exciting. But hey, that's the end of another year. Shout out to those Bulldogs once again. And hey, Horned Frogs, take some time off. I don't know if you can go virtual from school for a little bit, but pretty sure you probably don't want to show your face around campus for a little while. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, nephew, grandson. Duggins had a pretty decent, nothing like that, man.
That was Michigan, though.
Yeah.
We did.
Where we at?
All right, moving on.
Oh, man, that was our natty, man.
I'm just going to throw it up there real quick. Ohio State Buckeyes lost a nail-biter against Purdue. The Buckeye men basketball team lost 71-69 on Thursday, and then the men turned around and went to Maryland.
Lost the game.
And dropped an in-conference game there. Always important to win your conference matchups. They drop out of the top 25.
Purdue number 3 in the nation.
If you're a big
chance at the end, and it was just one shot here and there, and that's how it always goes. One shot, one kick, something don't go right, and it just you only get so many opportunities, and they just didn't capitalize. But they had a big, can't remember the guy's name right now, big 7'4" center from Purdue. That was a feat that you had to go up against.
They still got him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
his name will come to me here in a second.
Right, yeah.
I was cheering for Purdue last year,
It
though,
is.
sort of, because they had my man Jaden.
But what I was going to say was to make a betting note. You're local. Pay attention to the information. Buckeyes are in the top 25. They lose to Purdue. They're reeling from that one a little bit. They got to turn around. Maryland's always a tough place to play. I didn't know what the money line is, what the points are on that one. But, always wanted to keep out. That's a good spot to lay some money on Maryland. Just because you got to know what's what. Buckeyes are a young team. They're going to take a couple spills, and that's that. They'll look to rebound. So let's get it on. NFL. Let's get to it. Let's start with the Chicago Bears. Maybe one of my favorite stories out of the weekend.
Starting with the Bears.
Lovie Smith Yeah, we're starting with Week 17. Lovie Smith, the Houston Texans. Garbage game, worthless thing. Don't call me Benny.
They fired him for winning.
They fired him for winning, but that's a great play. The Houston Texans have the first overall pick. If they lose to the Colts, they're getting thumped. It was a shootout of bad teams, and Lovie went for two with like 50 seconds left to try and win the game and cost the Houston Texans the number 1 seed. Lovie Smith is a former Chicago Bears head coach. The Chicago Bears now have the number 1 seed. So Bears fans have been thanking Lovie Smith. Bears got the number 1 pick, and they have the largest salary cap to work with in the offseason, $100 million. Jer, you asked us in the chat, should they trade the number 1 pick? Should they load up with a big body wide receiver? I said it last week. The Bears should try and emulate what the Eagles are doing. Run that ball. Beef up that O-line. Justin Fields, he's coming into his own, so just trust it a little bit. So, Bears number 1 pick, what do you think? Who do you add? I think you trade down like 3-4 spots, get some cap, get a couple picks maybe, and add yourself a stud offensive lineman. That's what I suggest. Take it away for fellas.
I've seen rumors of them possibly going after Saquon and pairing him with Justin Fields in that backfield. I've seen talks of them possibly trading Justin Fields. What's more valuable? The value of Justin Fields right now because he is a hot smoking prospect, or what's the value of the number 1 overall pick and one of these young quarterbacks that a team could possibly come up and steal? I don't really. I know it's a lot. I can't really say what I would like for the Bears to do because the Bears is an in-division opponent, and I really don't want the Bears to succeed. So I personally would prefer them to trade away Justin Fields and go ahead and draft a young quarterback with the number 1 pick. Go ahead, Bryce Young, go in there and be purple people eater lunch.
And that don't make any bit of sense to go and trade one of the young and upcoming quarterbacks. I mean, it ain't like your boy Fields did bad in Chicago. One thing they do say that he just to have enough weapons around him, so why not start surrounding him with the weapons? You got the first pick, meaning you can get the best player that's coming out of the 2023 draft. Why not help the man out? You know what I mean? And if you want to draft or trade away the number 1 draft pick, why trade away the best thing that you got in the city? It's not like I said before, it's not like Justin Fields did a bad job. You know, when he was able to scramble in the first quarter against, I believe it was the Lions, for over 100 yards, you know, he did a good job. When he was able to pass down the field, first game out of the gate against the San Francisco 49ers, who's now looking like a potential Super Bowl favorite, he was doing a good job. So just because
Trey Lance.
It was against Trey Lance?
I mean, it wasn't the Brock Purdy 49ers.
I mean, it was the 49er defense that's still standing there right now, and he did what he was supposed to do back then. So to trade him away, I do not understand why that's even in the conversation. But
because they don't have enough.
And he's the best besides the number 1 draft pick or Justin Fields. That's what the trade value is.
So if you could get more for Justin Fields, why not just go ahead and get him up through and draft a young quarterback and build him up?
He is the young quarterback. I mean, what are you thinking that you're going to get besides
Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud? Is C.J. Stroud right now better than Justin Fields?
Hell no.
He's not a better passer than Justin Fields right now.
Justin Fields has already been in the league and been proving himself.
No.
He still ain't proven that he can throw the ball.
And neither is saying that C.J. Stroud, not taking away from the homie C.J., but not saying that he's going to be able to come in and just dominate. You're going to be doing the same exact thing exactly. You're going to get the same exact production that you're getting out of Justin Fields. You still don't have nobody for him to throw it to. Who's Justin Fields or C.J. Stroud going to have to throw it to?
Claypool, Tajay Sharp, and they got Moody.
Like you said,
Chris Komet is one of is a nice young tight end in this league. Or Cole Komet, not Chris Komet.
Yeah, man, come on.
Nah,
dude.
You get a couple of guys around.
You already invested.
Stroud couldn't go there.
You're already invested in Justin Fields. He's young. He's just getting his groove on. Josh Allen sucked for the first 2 years, and look what he's doing. Put some pieces around him. Give the man some time. Add pieces. What else? You can trade down like the Niners did with Mitch Trubisky. They traded down 1 spot out of the first, right? Got a bunch of capital and drafted in a line. Bears should do that.
You know who traded up that 1 spot?
The Bears.
Idiots. So you know who might trade Justin Fields?
You trade the pick. You don't trade Fields. I don't see what's trading Fields and bringing in CJ or Bryce Young is really going to get
you. That sets you back 2 years. And Justin Fields is a way better passer than CJ Stroud right now. Come on.
Come
on, man.
That's debatable.
Come on, man. All right, moving on. Lions Cheeseheads. This is my second favorite moment of the weekend. God damn, that was awesome. Sunday night, Dan Campbell just laying it all out there. We got nothing to lose. Going for it on 4th down. Put them out of their misery. Iced the game in Lambeau. It was awesome. Lions had everything to play for. It's a fun squad. They were squirrely. That Joseph Kirby man picks Rodgers 3 times. Only one of them counts.
He was throwing some passes.
Dude,
Let that have been Kirk Cousins throwing them passes, and that man would have got killed. Man, stop playing with me, bro. He been playing like hot trash all year. And I told y'all that back in August. Go check the August 24th episode. I promise you, I told y'all what was going to happen. And it happened. Them Lions did it. Them knee biters, like my man Skip Bayless said earlier, they went out there and bit them in the kneecaps.
Now, Will, you had Pack with me.
I had Pack. And like Jared said a couple weeks ago, you've been riding with Lions all this time. Why you turn your back and ride with the Pack?
To ride against the Vikings.
You know,
it makes sense now.
But what I was saying, the Green Bay Packers had the chance, and you're in your own home. You take a dome team, bring them into Lambeau Field. Why not go ahead and solidify yourself into the playoffs, mark your territory, and get in and do what you're supposed to do?
It's one of them quotes, they are who we thought, they are who I knew they were. Because I knew it was a playoff moment. And in the playoffs, you know who folds in the playoffs? Do you know who folds in the playoffs?
Rodgers.
Thank you. Mr. 11-10 in the playoffs, and he has a losing record since that Super Bowl. That was when I was still in high school, man. Like, come on. I ain't even graduate yet. I got babies.
Now Mr. Rodgers back up in his neighborhood. And
Go home,
from what
Roger.
he's saying, go home, Roger. Exactly. From what he's saying, he may not even come back, man. And it's kind of crazy to think that you're just gonna walk off. And I mean, we did the same thing last season, so I ain't really buying Rodgers.
That he had. Those were sober thoughts. Let him go get some ayahuasca and a little marijuana, and he'll probably come to the realization that I just need to get out of Green Bay. The biggest star in Wisconsin will not be me anyway because it's Giannis. So let me just go ahead and go and figure out. Maybe I could go link up with my dude in Vegas.
It's a lot of hoes out there that he can come and fill, and
get him about the north.
Obviously, he can't really. It's something in Green Bay that he just ain't rocking with. I don't know if it's the small towns. The what?
That's the Brian Gutekunst. That's the GM. They call him Goody.
It's something in Green Bay that Aaron Rodgers just ain't rocking with. But I mean, I put my hat on the line and say that Green Bay can make it. Put him at number 10 in the top 10. And they got my man Bays looking like he Will Ward or something like that. Getting the picks right. So, but man, it was sad that the Lions made major waves this season and to get right there on the cuffs of the playoffs and couldn't get in because of Seattle team that went into overtime against the Rams.
Because he didn't write back.
He didn't write back, man, but he gonna get one chance. We talking about, if y'all don't know yet, talking about your guy over in Seattle.
Yeah, I put my cape on for Gino and Jared too last week, so I knew both of them teams was gonna prevail. And the team that of course it would have been a nice little story for the Lions to get in, but that's because people feel bad for the city of Detroit. What's a better story for a person to get in the playoffs? Geno Smith. That's who deserves to get in the playoffs. That man. He earned it.
Same friend is, we're much happier seeing Seattle.
Exactly.
Than Green Bay, so bring that on.
I don't think, why? Y'all own Green Bay.
I'd rather play Seattle. That Packers defense is better.
That's debatable.
It's
better, but that don't mean it was. I don't think y'all would have.
We'll get to it in a minute. We got San Fran giving 10, so we'll talk about that.
I think y'all would have. It don't matter because I knew they wouldn't get in. So.
All right, you boys got any other Week 18?
Shout out to
Lines?
The prince that was promised. Shout out Trevor Lawrence. He did his thing, and I'm so happy that he did that because that is going to be a great matchup. We ain't in no playoff matchup yet, but that's the matchup I'm so excited.
I don't know about T-Law. That was a pick 6 that got them in the final.
Yeah,
they were down,
but he kind of
he does his thing good.
In the fourth quarter he could have played a little better, Trevor. But overall, he had a great game.
Will, final thoughts. Week 18, got any?
Man, we talking about teams that had the potential to get in and just got all the way hung up. And I know it was a lot of heavy hearts and a lot of emotion that was going on over in the Bills Stadium. But for the New England Patriots to go out there and not only to allow one kickoff return, but to allow two of them things to get taken back to the crib. I mean, that's one thing that I kept looking at because they played the Bills pretty close. It wasn't like it was just a runaway game, but to allow Nyheim Hines just to do what he did, like he was the human joystick, Deontay Hall or Devin Hester, and we ain't seen two run backs all season, let alone one run back. But man, that's the one thing. Like y'all let him off the hook. Bill Belichick is fire a special team coach and start from the beginning, man.
The fire is damn self.
All right, that's a good segue. Will, you just want to take it away?
Where we taking it away to?
That dude you were just talking about.
Nyheim Hines, my baller of the week.
I don't see it in here.
Is that what you're looking for?
It should be
Yeah,
Will Bow.
Jer.
It should be Will.
Jer, you hit me with it. Oh, God damn it.
With the ball in?
Yeah, Jer, I am going with your man. So you take it away. I'll check your drive real fast. All right.
Well,
Hit me with your baller.
I went ahead with game causing just causing ruckus, just out there, just wrecking Ralph all over the place, and he was just wrecking that line and wrecking Rodgers, and he wrecked their playoff chances.
Like it. All right, Will, I got two.
To give a shout out to my homie because he did help me get solidified. The That's Debatable. I don't even know if it's That's Debatable fantasy team that we was in, but that defense did put up like 19 points because of Nyheim Hines. So that's why I had to go ahead. And like I said, that's an amazing feat. You don't see that too often for a returner to get not one but two, and it was deep in the end zone for one of them. I think one of them may have been like 105. So shout out to that guy. The Bills Mafia is definitely back in full effect, in full swing. They got Miami coming into the crib, but like I said, Nyheim Hines, my baller of the week this week, man. I have to go ahead and give him a little shout out, give him some kudos. 50. Look at the smile on my guy's face, man. You telling me DraftKings ain't brought happiness around all of Ohio?
You're right. Nah, it wasn't DraftKings. It was FanDuel. Shout out FanDuel. I need a sponsorship.
Right. All right, boys. Let's get into the playoffs.
Promo code, that's debatable.
I know. Hopefully we'll get there someday. Dang it.
Oh, not now.
All right. We're going to go game by game through. All right. There's my guys. Let me change. There we go. All right. There's the bracket for them. Okay, what do you want to talk about first? AFC or NFC?
Start off with the first game. Just go in order of how they go for the regular schedule or schedule program. Starting off with Seattle and 49ers.
You got it.
4:30 on Saturday, only on Fox.
Okay, Seattle at San Francisco. San Francisco -10. Does San Fran cover? Also, Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown -145. Give me a little preview. What you guys got? Predictions.
I got Seattle with the upset.
Wow, you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You ain't just saying that just to paper champion it. You really going with Seattle? You got them circled on your schedule?
I got them.
Wow.
I got them covered.
You have them winning.
As long as they cover the spread, I don't care. I win.
We ain't going with that draft king bullshit right now,
But
man.
honestly, though, of course I think the 49ers will win, but I would really like an upset. And that's just me thinking about what's next.
Yep. Willie, predictions, comps, anything?
I'm going 49ers for sure, but I think that, Kenny Walker and my guy, DK Metcalf, they going to come in and try to give them that work. It's not going to just be an easy game. And I think that Seattle Seahawks defense is going to probably try to shake up Purdy, man. We haven't really seen Purdy struggle too much this season out of the 6 or 7 games that he's played. So I think that we may see a different type of animal out of Purdy, but having him in his own home, over there in San Francisco, it should be an easy skate. And I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, you're the guy that sit there and pay attention to that team the most, but you should be getting that guy Debo back, correct?
Yes, sir. I don't know.
Yeah, he should be back. But so week 2 y'all played. It was 27. The 49ers and Seahawks played. It was 27-7, and that was Jimmy G's first start because in week 2. Well, not week 2. Jimmy G finished that game, I believe, because that's when what's the name broke his
Trey
foot.
Lance got hurt first game.
No, he got hurt first game, or did he finish the first game?
He got hurt.
I thought he got hurt second
week
game.
3.
Nah, thought he got hurt first game.
Regardless.
But yeah, that score was 27-7.
It wasn't.
And that was at Levi. It is Levi, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Last game, of course, at Seattle was 21-13. That was a slugfest. Hard for a battle, but Seattle seems to obviously can't. Geno has yet to prove that he can move the ball against that defense well. And that game, I seen what's my man's name? Your corner, Charvarius Ward. Charvarius Ward. Him and DK got into a real battle last time. I'm interested to see how that go again. It's certain ways. It's not many ways you can attack this defense unless you punch them straight in the mouth. And we've only seen Josh Jacobs successfully do that. And this year, Josh Jacobs might be coined the best running back of this season because he was. Derrick Henry, he's been consistent. Jonathan Taylor got hurt, battle injuries. But maybe that if you could punch him in the mouth, maybe you guys, that's the way to do it.
You going back to week 3, week 4. They just played each other on December 15th. And that's what that was with Purdy.
That was 21-13.
You said with Jimmy G.
That was, I went to the first game. That was 27-7. And then I was just talking about the last game. It was a slugfest. It was Charvarius Ward and Metcalf got into it that last time they played.
Gotcha.
That was at Seattle. Yeah. 21-13.
That was Purdy's second start. They beat the Bucs on Saturday, and then he had to go in a short week. Seattle on Thursday, they win 21-13.
Yeah.
So to say that it's going to be an easy scapegoat for them guys, that's why I said it earlier. It's not going to just be.
Rival.
All right, they're going to spank them. They're covering 10, lay the money down. parlay. Niners spread, CMC anytime TD. Boom, get it on. Next game.
What's next on the schedule?
Tomorrow night. I'm already excited. It is Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, I can't
And
get
the Chargers.
monitor, boys. I'm waiting for who the no.
Oh yeah, that's the game I'm definitely waiting on too. That's what I was saying. That's the game of the weekend. I'm excited to see young Justin Herbert and young Trevor Lawrence, and I'm leaning towards Jacksonville because I don't like their coach over there in LA. Now he didn't scapegoated through. He got it a little bit right through the year, but he still cost him a couple games.
There's your monitor.
They also been battling injuries a little bit over there in LA, especially on the defensive side. But I just don't trust that coach. I feel like he's gonna do something stupid. He's gonna go for it at the wrong time, thinking this is sweet, and he's not gonna realize now this is real life and this is the playoffs. You could go for it, but it's really not during the times that he feel like it's best. I feel like he's going to blow the game. Dougie P is actually a great coach. And without the misunderstanding of Carson Wentz, I feel like he should still be in Philly. And imagine if Dougie P had this Philly team. Oh my God! But I'm going with Jacksonville in a 32-28 battle. Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence is just the future of the NFL after Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes, but then who else is it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jacksonville too. I mean, I can't really ride with. I would like to go with Herbert, but to see how they got, Mike Williams, he's injured right now. They just had the Bosa kid; he got injured in the last game. And I mean, Austin Eckler is gonna be one guy that's really gonna have to just take the reins and run away with this game. So Keenan Allen and Herbert may hook up. But I think that defense of Jacksonville, they've been showing up big in big time games, and they showed up against Tennessee. They showed up a couple of weeks ago against the Cowboys. And I think they're gonna do the same thing against Herbert and the crew. So I think I'm gonna ride with Jacksonville also. And we on to Sunday. So Sunday first game is the Bills. Dolphins traveling over to the Bills Mafia. Like, we still know they got heavy hearts up there and with the Bills. I still don't think Tua has been cleared. He's still under concussion protocol. So to see those guys have to go up there with probably Teddy Two Gloves, if he's available, because I know he had a finger injury in the last game they played. But those Bills might be ready for him, but I still think it's going to be a fight.
What I'm noticing, it's a lot of third battles.
Every game of the postseason is a rematch of this season.
Yep, except for
everyone.
Now the Chargers and Jaguars play this year.
I can do the fact check, but I believe so.
I know everybody else is. I know I pay attention to everybody else's division.
They did. Jaguars took them the first time, 38-10. Every one of the wild card is a rematch of some part of the regular season. And some teams even played twice. And I want to even know that question before we even go off too far. Because you said something earlier, like this is third time they play. And I keep hearing them say it's hard to beat a team twice, let alone 3 times.
Right.
How long is that narrative going to continue to play out?
I don't, like, for instance, when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, the Saints swept them in the regular season. But they beat the Saints in the playoffs. That could be a part of, Sean Payton and Drew Brees chokes. Tom Brady's also the GOAT. It's just third time's a charm. I've heard that before. We got, what we talked about already. Seahawks, 49ers.
They played twice.
And 49ers to beat them with 2 different quarterbacks.
So are we saying if they didn't won twice, the third time Seattle got the better chance?
I mean, you got all this film. It's your division rival. You got all this film. You can see what you did right, what you did wrong each time. How you got better in that second game from the first game because you got closer in the second game, kept them under what they had, and you scored more, but you still lost the game. See where you went. Go in the film room. Really try to execute a game plan and come out on top. You could do what the Bucs did. I'm not saying as far as Super Bowl, but I'm just saying as far as beating your division opponent that's been owning you this year. Come out on top. It is very, very possible. But
I don't I think that narrative dies a little bit this postseason because a lot of teams are going to play rematches. They are going to get a chance to play second, third time in the season. I think some of those teams that may have played before, they're going to continue to win once again. So I think that narrative is going to get, they're going to close the window on that one. But back to this Bills and Miami game.
It don't matter if they had Tua, Teddy, or the other guy. They're losing. So, yeah, Bills winning. I ain't even gonna talk about that. Prayers for
It's gonna be closer than what you believe. That's what I think. This is the third time.
I definitely took the Bills money line versus them trying to spread.
Let me get in here though. Ooh, but Bills money line's like minus 450. I hate paying to do that kind of juice. You don't think Bills cover 9.5?
It was with the free bet.
I mean, yeah, what 50 to win like 10? That's weak.
And then to see the
yeah, that ain't no good.
Let me see.
Miami's won one of their last 5.
I was gonna say, dude, they're not playing.
So they haven't been playing good at all. They lost against New England. They lost against Green Bay. They lost that snow game to the Buffalo Bills, and that was pretty much their closest game in these last 5 games, besides the one they won. And even that was kind of a throw-up type of game against the Jets.
You guys like the unders? I don't know. Over/unders 46. I'd say Bills to cover, probably under 46.
Yeah, I think it would be under 46. The problem is going to be with that offense, and I think I even seen something about their Tyreek Hill potentially even being on an injured list.
Miami won't score 14 points. So.
Never mind. I didn't bet the playoff shit.
Okay, next up. Bring it on.
It's them the Purple People Eaters, man. I mean, what we gotta say?
Giants.
Giants by 2 touchdowns.
Nah, man, y'all crazy.
All right, Sunday 4:40. Is that a primetime game? How does that affect Kirk? He'll be fine.
It's not a primetime game.
Thanksgiving Day 4:20. Didn't he blow it up? So same time slot.
I thought he had the night game. But anyway, he won again. That don't matter. That primetime stuff. I mean, Aaron Rodgers in primetime, right?
Vikings -3 over under 48.5.
Definitely take the money line for the Vikings, but you could. Will they cover? I don't know. I'm taking my Vikings, man. We're gonna start from start to finish. We're gonna dominate this game, and we're definitely gonna get the job done. Like I've been saying all year, 13-4, say no more. I've been saying since August that the Vikings will at least go to the NFC Championship game. My preseason prediction was NFC Championship game, Bucks versus Vikings, and the Bucks prevailed because I believe it was Tom Brady's last season, but it don't look like it's Tom Brady's last season, so somewhere I'm going to be wrong, and hopefully it's me wrong about us losing and actually going there. But no, I've definitely got the Vikings, pick the Giants. A lot of people, everybody's picking the Giants. I got to get my dog mask, so after we win, definitely next week, I got to come in with my dog mask because 2017 Eagle vibes for us.
All right. Willie, rebuttal, Jer, your chain is hanging on your mic. It's a hook like right around it. There you go.
Yeah, the Vikings, we all know they went about 11-0 in close games, and this is going to be another one of those close games. It's going to be relying. Not Darius, but Jones has to play a mistake-free type of game. They can't allow for those defensive ends to come in and really wreak havoc the way they can. So I think they cannot really put the ball in the hands of Jones and make him pass the ball. And we all know that he can get a little sturdy and get off, and run over 100 yards the same way Saquon can. So maybe the play action game is going to hold up a little bit. You see a little bit more of that screen game. But I want to say that because of how Minnesota's been playing so close this season, it's going to be a really close game once again. And they came into a couple weeks ago when they played New York, played in Minnesota once again. That game was close again, correct?
That was a 61-yarder that Greg Joseph hit.
And I don't know if it's going to, it's to have lightning strike twice. I don't think another kick like that.
It's not going to take that. But these are the 3 things that I need for us to succeed. I need, number 1, protection for Kirk Cousins. Number 2, edge rushers. I need Zadarius Smith and Daniil Hunter to have real impact on this game, and that's going to help out my back end. And also Dalvin Cook. Show up, show out, and hold on to the fucking football. And then those three things happen, we win.
So he said the same thing that I just said in reverse.
Yep.
You know, the edge rushers come and play. Danny Dimes elude all of Darius Smith and all the other guys that's going to come off. You know, get the screen passes popping off. It's the exact same thing. But I think it's going to be one of those close games. You guys haven't really put up those shootouts all season.
We have put up shootouts.
Well,
we haven't
like high
blown
score.
out anybody.
That's what I mean.
We have scored high.
I know what you mean, though.
No, we haven't blew
It hasn't
anybody
been anywhere where it's like, you about to let this guy, Kurt, go ahead and sit down for a couple of...
Yeah, no, dude, we haven't
third,
blew
fourth
anybody
quarter.
out, but we've won shootouts.
Yeah.
That's
I wasn't saying you haven't won
Yeah,
shootouts.
no,
I mean,
we
you haven't
put
put
offensive
somebody
games.
away.
No, we have yet.
If this
You're right,
offense
I'll give you
isn't
that.
good enough to be on the same field as you're not putting these guys away in the beginning. It's going to be another one of those one possession games.
I honestly feel like if we, I need us to show up for all four quarters, and if and when we show up for all four quarters, it won't be a one possession game because honestly they can't mess with us on this field. We are better from every position except for, well, it's a debate for Saquon, Dalvin, whoever you want, but they pretty much could do the same thing.
I think you guys need a bigger game out of Thielen. I haven't seen a lot from Thielen. JJ has really been getting. He's going to be the main one that they're going to focus on. TJ Hawkinson is going to be the other guy that Kurt likes to look for. But I think it's going to take a lot for Thielen to really get into the offense.
KJ.
I got you right there. Yeah, that's for the Vikings. I agree. I think they need to get big plays. Obviously, JJ's going to do his thing, but yeah, Hawkinson, KJ Osborne, Thielen, some help from those kind of mid guys will do a lot for the Vikings.
Can't do none of that.
And you're going to have to limit Saquon, but yeah, Danny Dimes can't be breaking out no big, he can't have a 60, 70-yard rushing game. I do think it'll be tight, probably one possession, like it's at, 3 points, 48 and a half. I think it'll be something like that, 30, 27, 28, 24, something like that. But Vikings defense will need to come to play. That Giants defense can show up, but
they blitz
they
a lot.
can
That's
get
the problem.
exposed, and they're kind of feast or
blitz.
famine, as they say. But yeah, I think that'll be a good physical game in U.S. Bank Arena. So that'll be a good one there.
I ain't got one loss there.
Nice.
To the Cowboys.
There you go. Cool home field advantage. Sunday night rematch. These dudes just played.
So snooze fest if it's Lamar not playing, and honestly, without Lamar getting paid, Lamar don't need to play. So Bengals, go ahead, get your victory lap, with the coin toss and all that other stuff. That's all I got.
All right.
Just as dry as that.
Sunday, 8:15, Ravens at Bengals. Bengals are a 7-point favorite. Over-unders 42. Leaning towards the unders, like you said. Ravens ain't got no offense, no Lamar. They're looking rough. And another thing, I was looking for player props. There's some player props for the Saturday game. But for the Sunday game, there aren't props yet. So, just for whatever that's worth, Big Willie. Bengals, Ravens, once again. Take it away, Big Dog. Thoughts?
We had a huge loss. They won the game, but really lost the ward in the front line. Alex Kappa tweaked his ankle, and that's going to be a huge loss for Cincinnati. The offensive line got depleted a couple weeks ago when we lost Lyle Collins. So that was the major focus of the offseason, and that's going to be the same thing that's going to continue to be the thing that they have to stay focused on. Luckily, the backups that they do have in the place are going to be a little, if you have Alex Kappa, who's one of the best guards in the NFL, on the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't want to say the NFL, but on the Bengals, the replacement that's coming in is like the best replacement that you can have to come in for him. So other than that offensive line, it's going to take a good game out of them. We've seen a couple of passes that they played or had against the Ravens this past week where usually you don't see it, but Joe B had overthrown T. Higgins, I believe, once, and then threw a couple of dirt balls. Well, I think Jamar probably dropped one. But one thing that, even with the offensive line having their problems, don't let that be a snowball effect of having holding calls and having, too much pressure on Joe. Because, we just seen $60 million man, and Roquan Smith just got paid today. So
he's gonna be motivated.
He's motivated, man. Dollar signs speak volumes. So he's coming in there. We paid you. Go do what we asked you to do.
They paid him right before the playoffs too. You know who you can pay right before the playoffs and be motivated? You know you can pay right before the playoffs and be motivated. Oh my God, bro! Like, it's so messed up. Don't even play Lamar. The Bengals is gonna win. I hope they blow them out, and I hope that means that either they gonna pay Lamar the biggest bag possible. Oh, I'm not even on camera, but I hope he pay him. There he is. I hope he pay him the biggest bag possible, or it was the delay with the phone, but or he get traded to somewhere that's gonna take care of him, like New York. He belong in a market like that.
Well, he free agent this year, so he don't even gotta get traded.
Oh yeah, that too. So I just wonder how they gonna play this franchise tag thing, and I wonder how they gonna do it because he is his own manager.
Well, I mean, we already seen how they gonna play, and they kind of playing themselves by even putting the man through the situation. We all know one thing that happened was Deshaun Watson came in and changed the whole trajectory of how we see free agency and how they're gonna have huge signing bonuses. But if a man has put his body on the line and literally have seen your whole franchise transform, he's no Joe Flacco. You know what I mean? He's no Trent Dilfer. He's no, I don't even know who else has been over there, but he's Lamar Jackson. So to have him go through battles and have to prove himself, I'm not worried about that because my focus is them boys in Cincinnati getting the dub and getting ready for Buffalo or Miami. Or at that point, it won't even have to be Miami. Maybe they'll have to see whoever's in Jacksonville and the Chargers game. But as far as what Cincinnati has to do to take care of business, man, limit the turnovers, limit the fumbles, limit any type of, penalties, and go out and play a clean game and keep Joe upright. That's what the main thing is. On the corners, as far as Cam Taylor-Britt and Eli Apple, I mean, the guys in the back with Jesse Bates and Von Bell, they have to help out because we seen how they did let slipping his name right now. One of the receivers, they got one deep ball, but they did end up getting a fumble on that. So just like I said, limit those things because Huntley will come in and try to sling it too. Just because Lamar's not there, that don't mean J.K. Dobbins ain't about to play. That doesn't mean the guys that's there is still not trying to get a dub, So that's my spiel about that. Cincinnati come out there and get a national win and get ready for the next round and stay healthy.
That's going to be a wrap. Baltimore is stupid.
Yep. All right. Monday night, 8:15. Dallas Cowboys at
the one.
Tampa Bay.
That's the one.
Cowboys -2.5, over under 45.5. I have zero interest in this game.
I got the GOAT.
I just don't want to watch it.
I got the GOAT.
Go Jerry? Jerry Jones?
The GOAT.
Is he a GOAT?
Yeah, man.
He looks kind of like an old wrinkly goat.
Nah, man, I got Tom Brady in the Bucs. I'm not impressed. I don't believe in the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are the Cowboys, and they're going to do what the Cowboys do. As always, scramble, run, fall on their face, and blame the ref for losing the game, for running out of time. Nah, but all jokes aside, seriously though, I just think Tom Brady, I don't know if it's his last ride or not. I do know about that Fox contract that's waiting, and it's a fat one. He could get to it anytime he wants, but he is looking to still play. But this is his last run in Tampa. He had home. He doesn't lose at home that much, and he kind of is undefeated versus Cowboys. So I'm gonna take Tom Brady in this one, and the Buccaneers. The defense just got to show up a little bit.
Okay, Will.
Man, I done heard narratives of Dallas Cowboys. They don't play good on grass. They got to go to Raymond James, and that's all grass. I don't know whether that has to really do anything, but I know that one thing that the Cowboys have been doing, and we've seen how they just played against the Commanders this past week. It really stunk up the joint the whole entire game. I mean, they can't allow they can't allow for it to put the hands in the ball of Dakota Rain Prescott, as you like to call the man. You got to rely on, I don't know where Tony Pollard been. I don't know if he's hurt. Zeke really ain't been the same since he was wearing a purse, but they got to rely more on that run game. They got to really stand strong on that run game. That defense of the Buccaneers, they may be battered. They may be a little banged up, but I think it's a little bit more of Dallas having to prove themselves than it is against Tampa Bay having to figure them out. Because we've seen them shoot themselves in the foot. We've seen Dallas continue to come out week after week. The narrative has been of Prescott throwing interceptions, turning the ball over. So that really has to change in order for them to get the dub. But if they don't get the dub, man, McCarthy's gone. It's going to be, as soon as the game is over, I don't even think he's going to make it back to Dallas. They're going to fire him right there on the
He's
field.
going to have to walk home.
You got to take the Greyhound. Hopefully his mom, sister, cousin, somebody can help him get a couple dollars back to Arlington.
They still got to pay him. Coaches who get fired still get paid, trust me.
He's not going to be there at the end of the day.
Right.
That's one thing. But I think Dallas, they have a chance, but I think the chance of them falling is even better. So he took Tampa Bay. I'm riding with Tampa Bay also, not just, I can't take Dallas. Fools go to fools go.
Hey, it's all good, man. I ain't mad. I'm just, it is what it is.
It's a few games we wavered on.
All that stuff that they were saying about if Aaron Rodgers get in and the Packers got a chance to, they sneak in, the last time he was on the road and all this other stuff. No, the last time that Tom Brady was in a position like this, of course he got the one home game, but besides that, he's gonna be on the road. I think this is Tom Brady getting into the playoffs, just sneaking in because he got the winners division. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the playoffs at 8-9.
Tom Brady ain't here for no reason, man. Tom Brady didn't gave up everything. He didn't gave up his wife and kids. He didn't gave up his sanity. He didn't took shots from AB. You know what I mean? He done went through all this season. This is his one last chance to write off. I think he got more to play for than what Dallas has to overcome. So if they let Tom Brady and Mike Evans do what they did a couple weeks ago, it's going to be a long night for them boys. We've seen that they can still hook up. You know what I mean? 200 yards. Tom Brady threw for 4 something that game?
Yeah.
So, it's very possible. It's very possible for it to happen. So, Travion Diggs better show up. And whoever else is in that secondary, Michael Parsons got that hurt finger. Better not let that get to him this game. Lawrence on the other end, y'all better go and stack Brady and sack him quick. Because if y'all let him get any type of gold kind of remedies of him being in that old type of Tom Brady in the playoffs, it's going to be a long night for Dallas. I don't think it's not going to take long. It's not going to take long. It's going to be in the first half, smoke job in the first half, sit Tom down for a little while.
All right, excellent.
He going to play the all 4 quarters.
There you go. Ooh, I got Super Bowl odds.
Dallas by 14. Or Tampa Bay by 14. Say that one more time. Tampa Bay by at least 14.
You should look up that alternate line. Tampa Bay minus 14 is like plus, 300-400. So you take Tampa minus the alternate line, Tampa minus a touchdown. That gets you, plus 250 juice. All right, speaking of money.
we just gotta get there and do that.
All right. What else? You got any final thoughts on playoffs? Playoff time. Let's do it. Let's get after it. Okay. On tonight. A little quick NBA before we get to Jers Levels. Donovan Mitchell returns.
I need 25 out of that, man.
Donovan and Cleveland go to Utah. Curry is back with Golden State from injury. Yeah, you got 20. What? He needs to score over 25 points.
At least 25.
Donovan's over-under on our PRA, points, rebounds, and assists, was at 36.5. I caught a little bit of that earlier, whether they liked it or not. But if the Caps blow him out, that means Donovan ain't playing much. So, my other...
I must have lost the hockey one.
We are going to get to Jers Levels. Updated. Alright. NBA Week 13. We're going to show you Jers Levels. The biggest news lately is Kevin Durant is out with a sprained MCL. He's probably going to miss like a month.
So annoying.
So, without further ado, you want me to put it next to you, Jared?
Yeah.
I'll put it over my face. Sorry, ladies.
You're funny.
There we go.
All right, man. From the bottom. See, I got to the Toronto Raptors. I lay it down. They could possibly be a playing team or whatever, but I just feel like they need to go ahead and trade Pascal Siakam. Fred VanVleet need to go ahead and go somewhere. OG Anunoby need to go somewhere. Like, they got pieces on that roster that can actually help other teams out. Like, I can see like Siakam, Luka. He needs he could use a second man like him. It's just other players. It's just that's why I got the Raptors and laid it down. They got some players on that team. There's nothing that they could do with it. Their championship, they got their championship. It's over with. And Toronto's all about Drake albums. OKC's and lay it down, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is really making it hard for that team to lay it down because they're in a tank for Juan Buyana series, but they got hella draft picks and they got hella chances. Orlando Magic, they suck, but the rookie of who will be the rookie of the year, Paolo Banchero, who's averaging I think 20.1 points a game, he's doing his thing. Everybody else, the Wizards, I don't know what Bradley Beal's doing. The Hornets, they inconsistent. LaMelo Ball did just come back, and the Spurs, Rockets, and the Pistons, they're just young, and the Spurs don't got nobody. The Jazz still got hope. Bulls they're good against the top teams, bad against the bad teams. Mediocre record, can't really do it. But they still got hope. Right now they're in the 11th spot, I believe. They did just lose last night, but DeMar DeRozan just went down. The Portland Trailblazers, play-in type territory. Damian Lillard, Jeremy Grant. The Minnesota Timberwolves, Cat is still hurt, but Cat and Gobert don't work anyway, so they're still trying to figure it out. There's a lot of rumors going around with D-Lo. D-Lo then unfollowed everybody on Twitter, so you know what that means in this generation when they wouldn't do the unfollow Twitter, Instagram thing. So D-Lo then did that, which he might not belong there. Well, it's a lot going on in Minnesota. Only thing that you should care about in Minnesota anyway is the Vikings anyway. Wake up. Stephen Curry does come back tonight, which that definitely helps my fantasy team because on that same fantasy team, KD just went down, and I had Steph and KD. So Steph comes back, KD goes down. That's great, but whatever. Shout out the Warriors. They're home tonight, which I picked the Suns to cover, but the Suns don't got Booker or nobody. That might have been a bad pick. The Clippers, Paul George in and out the lineup, Kawhi in and out the lineup. Kawhi ain't been looking that great because he's been in and out the lineup, not consistent. The Suns they've been banged up. They need to wake up. The Heat banged up. Lakers need to wake up. The Hawks, I don't even know what's going on with the Hawks because DeJounte Murray and Mr. Trae Young is always there. And Trae Young is always going for 25, 30 points a night. Maybe just a bad construction, bad coach. Too much going on where the strippers is in the city of Atlanta. I don't know.
It's all you, Brody.
But don't sleep on the Pelicans. They will be in grind time, but because of Zion's down, Bi is still down. They just don't sleep on them because McCullum and them young boys and Alvarado and them could just come in, shoot your lights out, and because they fearless. Same thing with Indiana. You think you're just gonna beat Indiana? It's not gonna be easy. They're gonna shoot your lights out. Sacramento is not an easy out. Don't sleep on Indiana. The Knicks took the Bucks to the brink the other night. It's not an easy out, but Brunson did go for 44. Grind time. Everybody's in grind time for the first time. Nobody is looking like that because everybody got something. The Nuggets do look like possibly the best team in the league right now. Jokic is finding his team. Murray is hitting his stride. Porter is filling in his role and doing his thing. Bruce Brown, KCP, like they are loaded. It's a rookie from my man named Holland, whatever his name is. They got a nice little backup bench point guard, like and the coach is a good coach. So, but I still got to see it in a 7-game series for me to actually believe in Denver. But right now they possibly looking like the best team. Memphis is right there. They're young, but Ja Morant is always talking, and he's making more spectacular missed dunks than the dunks he's making. Boston #1 in the East. They did beat the Bulls right now, but last night. But the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks is on their tail. It's like a game out, a half game out. They're right there. Cavaliers. They play tonight. Hopefully they could beat the Jazz because I need them to because I picked them on my money line. Dallas. Luka's going crazy every night. Hopefully he goes crazy tonight too. And the 76ers. They're just going with the flow. Joel Embiid is just one of the top scorers in the league as usual. He's second in the league in scoring. James Harden isn't the old James Harden, but he's doing decent. He's a facilitator, and he can put up 20 points tonight if you need to. Tyrese Maxey's hitting his stride. But right now, nobody look like that. And with KD going down for the Brooklyn Nets, it's on Kyrie's shoulders right now. Kyrie, Ben Simmons, I need y'all to hold it down until my man get right in a couple weeks. Because these skinny knees, man. His skinny knees always bruising his knees, man. Something wrong with him. But that's Jers Levels. It's a lot going on in the NBA. They've been scoring crazy. Everybody's going crazy. And with the NFL winding down and college football's finally over, you know what time it is. It's time to really buckle down and lock into the NBA because it's that time of the year.
Whoa, whoa. All right.
What he said.
There you go. What he said. Okay, hey, well, I went in here.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, we gonna bounce out. Boys, do you have...
All right, Capes.
Oh, man.
We could close it with Capes.
All right.
And get this shit out of here. We don't like this. We don't like this.
Camera.
We ain't even on camera no more. Oh no, that's right there. But I might be on camera. Yeah, I am on camera. Yeah, get this shit out of here.
Like I got you on now.
I'm caping for Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, the offensive line, the defensive line, Zadarius Smith, Daniil Hunter, Cam Densler, Boyd, Harrison Smith, Patrick Peterson, get you a championship ring for your Hall of Fame career that you done had. I'm caping for everybody. I'm caping for my squad. I'm caping for the Skull Gang. Skull Gang, Skull Nation, stand up. They don't believe in us. Jared did on season 13 and 4. Say no more. I coined it. If betting was legal in Ohio back then, I would have hit on that. But it's an in-house bet of the NFC North. I hit on that. So shout out to them. Shout out to my Minnesota Vikings. It's been a great year. Now it's one and done. Let's get it done. Who you got, Will?
Man, it goes without even being said. From all the people that continue to doubt us all the people that continue, not even a dollar, just continue to show hate, continue to show disrespect, because that's all it is at this point. The disrespect to the AFC champions, because until you get dethroned, you're still a champion, you're still king. And as everybody want to say, it goes through through KC, it goes through Buffalo. It still got to come to the 5-1-3 first. And if we don't play them, they play us, man. So I got to put my cape on. I ain't going to go through the whole spiel of the whole roster like he just did. I'm going to just say we're going to have to come out here and do our thing. You see me still work dirty. That's how we're going to have to go out and do it. Just gritty, dirty. Don't matter how it get done. It ain't got to be gritty up style. We're going to shoot them up and get them out of the Paycor Stadium real quick and get ready for whoever we got to show up for next, man. We going to the toaster in Arizona. That's the only thing we focus on. There's nothing else got to be said. No soliloquies, no long poems and all that other stuff. So put my cape on for nobody else except for that team down on 71 from here, about an hour and 45 minutes. Riding with me, hour and about 30. So, man, just come out and do your thing. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah, that's, Minnesota. Is that next year? Minnesota, where did I see that? You guys' Facebook page, Bengals?
Yeah, they got
Minnesota next
easy
year.
dub again. No field goals that time.
Oh yeah, week 18, Bengals and Vikings.
There ain't no weeks on it yet.
Yeah, it was. That's what it.
I
The
think
post
it's-
that I shared had the week on it.
Yeah, I thought it said week 17 or something.
It ain't gonna be 18. We finish off with they do off with the
post,
divisionals.
the post that I shared said that like week 18 gonna be different. I just gotta go through my Facebook and see.
Yeah, well, let's take care of the business this season first.
But yeah, we ain't worried about that. But that'll be awesome. But hopefully I see another Vikings game before that. But it'll bring me to memories of my guy CJ. Shout out CJ. Rest in peace to my bro. Because without him, I wouldn't even have went to that game first.
Yeah, caping for the Niners. I mean, it is what, fucking game on, baby.
I do want to cape for Gino.
Shut those Seahawks. I hope they just pound them. Niners by 14. Get rolling. Make it easy on Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa. Just let the defense do the work. Shut them down. Let Brock Purdy stay nice and easy. Ease Debo back in. He's practicing this week, so bang, bang, Niner game. Starting things off Saturday. Wild card weekend. It's going to be fun. For those out there, thanks for tuning in still. Appreciate you bearing with us. That's Debaytable as always, Tuesday nights. We love you. Thanks for joining.
Boom!
Get us
Almost
out.
to Ryan.
Man, you hit Ryan.
Wow. All right. We out. Put those capes on.